Hi, Patrick here for Have Cheater Will View. Welcome to day 31 of the 31 Days of Halloween 2023. We have done it. We have reached the last film. And I was going to go with a different direction, but I decided to go with this one. I decided to go with a different movie instead. I was going to do a movie called Found, which I will be doing that somewhere down the line. But I sort of wanted to end up with physical media. My 31 days, if you have seen, it's a combination of both physical and streaming. So, but I wanted to go out with with sort of a bang, so to speak, and go out with some physical media. So I'm going to talk about 2002's Bubba Ho-tep, which was directed by Don Cosarelli, who did Phantasm, the Phantasm franchise, and of course, Phantasm was one of the rare movies that actually scared the poo out of me. Bubba Ho-tep stars Bruce Campbell and Ossie Davis. Bruce Campbell plays Elvis. That's right, the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. He is stuck in East Texas in a nursing home, and he is stuck there by his own design. He didn't mean for it to happen, but it happened because he traded off. He was Elvis Presley. He wanted to get out of the life for a while, so he's heard that there was a impersonator that was a perfect dead ringer. He went with this to meet this impersonator named Sebastian Haff, and they changed. They switched roles. Sebastian became Elvis, and Elvis became Sebastian. They drew up a contract saying, that if one or the other got tired of the life, they could come back. They would switch off. Unfortunately, Sebastian is the Elvis that died in 1977. So that makes it sort of hard for the real Elvis to say, hey, it's really me. Plus that, the contract that he had with Sebastian is accidentally blown up in a barbecue accident. Barbecue fire. So he's, but, and to make it off, the trifecta, so to speak, when Elvis was out there performing as Sebastian, he was having a great time, but unfortunately, he went to do one of those famous kicks, and he threw out his hip, fell off the stage, and ended up in a coma for 2 years. When he woke up, Sebastian was gone, and he's in a rest home, and tough times for Elvis Presley. The home is a ramshackle one. It's not very well staffed. It's hard times. And Elvis, Bruce Campbell, who's Elvis, he narrates the film from his point of view, and he's saying how he regrets a lot of things. There's things that are going on with him physically. There's, we hear his backstory, how he ended up there. We see the home's not all that reputable. It seems like every day they're taking somebody out who's died over the night, and we see two hearse attendants. One of them played by Daniel Roebuck. Those two guys were funny. They could have got a film themselves. The hearse attendants, and so things are not in a good place for Elvis. But they're about to get a lot worse when a mummy is resurrected because some people have stolen his sarcophagus, and he escapes, and he needs to regenerate. So he decides to go to the rest home and basically recharge himself by killing the residents there. Elvis and his friend John F. Kennedy, played by Ossie Davis, they get wind of this when several of the residents suddenly end up passing, and they start seeing creatures. They start seeing succubuses that are running around. And they look like huge cockroaches. And we see them in action. They kill a couple of residents, and so Elvis and John F. Kennedy, they decided they need to team up to battle this mummy after John discovers Egyptian hieroglyphics in the bathroom. John F. Kennedy is played by Ossie Davis, And his story is that uh, it's really the president. He didn't die in Dallas. And in fact, he makes Elvis swear that he had nothing to do, had played any part of it. And Elvis tells him that wasn't me. I didn't play any part of it. uh, Supposedly, what happened was he didn't die on that day. He did get shot in the head, but he didn't die. They had to replace part of his brain. They put sand in his head. But and then when Elvis points out that John F. Kennedy was white and he's black, he says, "Well, of course they dyed me. What else would they do in order to hide me in plain sight?" So there you go. President John F. Kennedy and Elvis Presley are teaming up to fight fight a zombified mummy. Actually, he is a bit of a zombie. Um, so that's what happens. They come together. They just, all of a sudden, before Elvis was just laying there waiting to die. Suddenly now he has a purpose in life. Is to stop this mummy, and him and JFK. They start devising a plan to draw him out and to fight him. And at least if they can stop him, that's awesome. And of course they do. And both men, well, they go out with a blaze of glory. Um, I really like this movie. I heard about this movie. I never saw it. Of course, it's funny. Here it is, 2023. This movie came out in 2002. 21 years. I heard about it, but I never watched it. That's too sad for me too, because I really enjoyed this movie quite a bit. This is Bruce. This is as much as I hated My Name is Bruce, because that was a terrible movie. But Bubba Ho-tep is a great Bruce Campbell movie, and it really shows you his range. Um, what I really think pushed this movie that made it less like comedy, which is supposed to be comedy and a horror comedy. But there's something about Bubba Ho-tep that might surprise you, and that is the amount of heart in this movie. Um, um, there's some emotion here. You get choked up a couple of times watching these two guys. In the movie itself, it doesn't really just talk about the slapstick comedy of it. It has something. Cosarelli has something to say. You know, he has something to say in his direction. The story is by Joe Lonsdale, a very well known author, writer. He's written many books and has been made into a lot of films. Um, and but Cosarelli is the one that I think his direction. It's I think it's probably different than the book. I don't think the book's probably quite as emotional as this. The novella, I probably don't get that sense of it. Of course, if it is, even more credit to Cosarelli for doing that. But I don't think so. I think it's probably played more straight for horror. But Cosarelli, he decides that he wants to make this movie a little bit more of a commentary, and so Cosarelli can write. Let me tell you, he's a good screenwriter, underrated actually. Um, and so what I really liked about the film too, besides that, is the music. The music is absolutely beautiful, and it really elevates this movie quite a bit. And I've talked many of my reviews of how I feel a score will elevate a movie up. It'll make it go from this level to this level. Probably most famously I've mentioned is probably It Follows. I would definitely have to put Bubba Ho-tep right there. This movie it gets elevated by Tyler's score. It is moving. It's there's some, yeah. I really did like it. I thought it was a smart play. Uh, wow. This copy of Bubba Ho-tep, this is a loaded edition, I guess. Um, it has two different commentaries on it. And a ton of special features, including the commentaries. Ton of features on here. Um, photo gallery, music video, some featurettes, what have you. You guys will totally dig this. This probably could be found on Amazon or eBay. You could probably get a copy of this used, probably for a pretty fair price, I would think. But who knows these days, right? So highly recommended, Bubba Ho-tep. That is my 31 days of Halloween. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. I don't, like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna do this again. Uh, I think all my videos for the most part were probably too obscure for a lot of people. I don't know. It just I just wanted to bring some movies out that maybe people haven't heard of a lot, or they were new to me. Because I know a lot of people know about Bubba Ho-tep, but it was new to me. But I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys are entertained, and gosh, it's we'll see you guys soon. Peace.